The parallels between the Cowboy career of David Edwards and the trajectory of OSU golf are eerily similar. A young Mike Holder had ambitions of taking Oklahoma State to a new level, and Edmonds' David Edwards was working to do the same with his game. The match could not have been better. As OSU golf began the hunt for its first national title since 1963, a disciplined and determined freshman golfer began his trek to the OSU Hall of Honor.
You know, he was a very good player when he came there. I don't think he was highly recruited. Coach Holder might talk more about that, but he just continued to improve. I think he had a big improvement between his sophomore and junior year, but he had worked so hard in his sophomore year, it was not surprising to anybody.
David Edwards, the younger brother of Cowboy golfer Danny Edwards, played 8 rounds for the Cowboys as a freshman in 1975. But as a sophomore, he had improved enough to record 4 top 10 individual finishes, including 3rd in the individual race at the Big 8 Championship Tournament.
He probably improved more from his freshman year to his senior year than any player I ever saw. And he continued on then after that, even getting better in his pro career.
As Edwards elevated his game, the Cowboy program was growing along with him. At the conclusion of Edwards' sophomore season, Oklahoma State won its first national championship under Mike Holder with an unthinkable victory over Wake Forest, a team considered by some to be the best of all time. By Edwards' junior season in Stillwater, he was pretty much all-world. He was a first-team All-American with 7 top 10 finishes and 4 top 5 finishes. He finished 5th as an individual at the NCAA Championships, and his scoring average plummeted by 5 strokes.
He didn't really talk about it at that time, but I think he was building a swing to compete on the PGA Tour. And he was out there trying to figure out what would be the best for him and what would give him a long career on the PGA Tour. Now, obviously, he helped us team-wise, but he just continued to improve. We
were always amazed. I mean, how many different hobbies he had and he wanted to get into, and once he got into them, he was all in. There was no I'll just kind of put my big toe in. He was all in, I mean, when he did something. And you could see that even with his golf swing, with the way he would try something. He was always trying something new, trying to figure out how to be better.
Edwards' senior year was one of the great runs in Cowboy golf history. He led OSU to the 1978 Team National Championship in Eugene, Oregon. The Pokes won the title by a school record 17 shots over Georgia. He became the first player in OSU history to win an individual and team title in the same year with his 2-shot victory in medalist play, becoming the 3rd NCAA individual champion in program history. And over the course of his blossoming career, the Cowboy golf program blossomed as well. The 2 NCAA championship teams Edwards played on were the first 2 won by Mike Holder. Those wins set the table for OSU golf to become the nation's top program with 6 national titles over a 16-year stretch. Edwards played on the 2 national championship teams, 2 NCAA runner-up teams, and 4 Big 8 conference championship teams. During his senior season, the Cowboys won the conference title by 49 strokes. Edwards' impact was felt on and off the course as a person and as a player.
As people watch David and how good he struck the ball, I think especially when we were juniors and seniors, guys that were coming in as freshmen, Rafael Alarcon, Bob Tway, guys like that, I think it really did rub off on them to work harder because he kind of showed what can happen when you do that.
David Edwards is such a man of character. I mean, his moral fiber, he's such a stand-up guy. I don't know any guy that's a better guy than him. I don't. I mean, he's just unbelievable.
As a pro, David Edwards had 28 top 5 finishes, and 65 times he finished in the top 10 with 4 tournament victories.
I would say, as crazy as it sounds, if I were to rank ball strikers, people I've been around, people I've known, Ben Hogan would be number 1, best ball striker I ever saw. second would be Lee Trevino, and third would be David. Out of all the different PGA Tour players, college players, and everybody else that has played the game.
David Edwards had the talent, but he also had the gifts of persistence and curiosity. It was a combination that led to conference championships, national championships, and longevity in the professional ranks, and it led to an exclusive club. David Edwards, 2024 OSU Hall of Honor inductee.